Well, backlash coming in there. Joining us now to discuss the Karnataka government's draft bill is the president of NASSCOM, Debjani Ghosh, the CEO of Team Leads, Ramesh Alluri Reddy, and the senior advocate Akshay Ban, who argued for the Faridabad Industry Association, whose petition led to the striking down of the Haryana reservation law by the High Court. Debjani, gentlemen, appreciate you joining us here on the program. Debjani, to you first. NASSCOM has put out a statement, of course, pretty much mirroring what we just heard there from Mohandas Pai, calling this move by the Karnataka government draconian, calling it ill-conceived and ill-thought of. Now, Debjani, what is the key concern? At this point in time, the IT Minister Priyank Kharge, as we just heard, said that, look, there is no reason to panic, in his words, that we are still open for consultation. But the fact is that this has gone through Cabinet's approval. What's the chief concern that industry has, specifically the IT industry?
See, the industry is built on talent. Skills, it's our biggest competitive differentiator. And today, globally, there is severe shortage of skilled talent. Same applies for India. Same applies for every single state in India. There is tremendous skill shortage. Today, every state, every country is trying to figure out how to become that magnet to attract the best talent while it builds its own talent pool, right? And businesses are very clear, we will go where the talent is. It's very, very clear. If you look at how businesses are selecting locations, selecting countries, states within a country, the first preference is, or the first criteria they're looking at is, where is the current talent pool? Now, something like this in a state or any state, given the kind of talent shortage, is sort of, it just doesn't make sense, Shireen. It's like a self-call. It really doesn't make sense, because when you say you cannot have access to the kind of talent that you need, you're basically telling industry that we are not going to support you. And that is very strange coming from Karnataka, which has been the home of the IT industry, right? And so I'm glad that Minister Kharge has come out and said that there will be consultations. We need to do it very fast, and we need to send the right message out, because the IT industry needs talent. It's good talent. It's nothing else matters.
Yes, urgent intervention and course correction is what NASSCOM has sought from the Karnataka government. But Mr. Reddy, let me come to you now. You know, what we are seeing in different states, and the Karnataka government is also trying to ensure that there is job creation for locals, for those who are domiciled in Karnataka. But actually what we're hearing from industry is that this is going to have the absolute opposite impact. This is going to deter future investments. This is going to deter incremental investments by existing investors, because nobody wants the government to meddle with key decisions of who you should hire, how you should hire, the government signing off on crucial decisions. So isn't this going to have the absolute opposite impact of what the government is hoping to do, which is more job creation for locals?
No, absolutely. So I think I'll answer your question in a slightly different way. So I'll tell you what are the biggest problems which are plaguing the industry today. Today, the biggest problem for entry-level talent is productivity. The reason is our education system is extremely qualification-based, and like Debjani said, skills are not really built. So that's the biggest problem with our education system. So what happens as a fallout is the industry has to train people for almost up to 1 year before they get even productive. That's the first problem. The second problem is, after you train the person, are you guaranteed that the person is going to stay with you? Look at the attrition rates. So you're not able to first attract talent. Second, you're not able to retain the talent. And I'll just give you an example of AI, because Karnataka is the center house for all the artificial intelligence and the technology space. Today, there are 6,25,000 jobs on the AI front. But today, we have only 4 lakh people who are trained from an artificial intelligence perspective. So there's a gap of 2,25,000 people. Now, is this bill in any way going to help solve any of these problems? I wouldn't think so. So I would think that the government should really look at how they can incentivize skilling, how they should look at ensuring the entry-level talent can become better, can become more productive. And that will really address the issues which the industry is plaguing. And we more than welcome that if locals are also trained and if based on merit, if they are able to take the jobs, that's perfect. But I don't think this bill by itself really calls for any of the industries.
Yes, the employability issue that you raise is a genuine one and has been on the table for a while now. In fact, many CEOs that I've been speaking to have pegged the skills gap as one of the key concerns that industry is faced with today. Akshay Bhan, let me come to you and, a disclosure. We're not related in any form or fashion, but Mr. Bhan, let's address this issue of what has actually happened as far as the matter with the Haryana government's law is concerned, which was struck down by the Punjab and Haryana High Court, calling it unconstitutional. The court essentially saying that you cannot create a wall around a state, you cannot discriminate against other Indians. But we're seeing now a flurry of state governments trying to do exactly the same. What do you believe will now need to be done? The Punjab matter, the Haryana matter is now with the Supreme Court. What is the message that you believe states are taking away from each other as they formulate these laws, even though you've got a High Court order which basically calls it out as being unconstitutional?
Shireen, ultimately what is happening is, see, political considerations apart. Time and again, we've seen that these laws keep on being enacted by state governments. And it actually needs to be put a stop to, because what we are doing is now, we are actually working against the constitutional framework. We bring in regionalism. We are actually going against the mandate of the Constitution. The Constitution does not provide the state government with the power to make any such reservations, especially in the employment sector. But what we've seen is successively this has been done. The reason is you challenge it, ultimately take it to before the Honorable Supreme Court and see whether it's a chance being taken by every state government. We faced this problem in Haryana. We argued the matter. We got the judgment from the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court, which reasoned it out and said, see the law which has been crystallized. Please read the Constitution. There are things which you can do and there are things which are completely prohibited. See, what the law does is, now what you are doing is basically, it's not only employment, you are taking away a person's right to move around freely in the country. I want to go and settle in Bangalore. I want to take up a job there. How can you prevent me from going there and residing there, from taking up that job there? There is nothing which is being done. It's something, we have a concept. This is pan-India. It has to happen within the constitutional framework. The only power which is vested is with the central government. Parliament alone has any power, and that too also is on the touchstone of reasonableness, arbitrariness, so many factors which come. The only exception was carved out was post PA in Ahmedabad, when the Honorable Supreme Court said that even for educational institutions, no reservation can be there. The Constitution itself had to be amended to bring that within the ambit, and stating it will not be violative of the constitutional scheme of the country. So time and again we are saying this is happening, and no, this cannot be done. The state government does not have the power. It is not vested with this power under the constitutional scheme of the country. So this
and perhaps it will have to come down to the Supreme Court to send out that message. Absolutely, to send out that message loud and clear that this is a violation of the Constitution. It's particularly a violation of Article 14 and 19, as Akshay Bhan was pointing out.